explore life, as we begin this journey to uncover a deeper meaning of life. And what a wonderful thing it is to be with you. I'm blessed here. I'm in Texas. We're having an amazing storm, the storm like I've never seen in the history of my time here. I've been here 34 years, and they're saying that we're having a record storm in Texas right now. And it's basically the cold. I mean, it's 0 degrees. It doesn't get that cold here, at least in Dallas, Fort Worth, or it hasn't. And so I'm hunkered in, but I've got power, so I'm blessed. So I can be with you today and share some ideas and share some thoughts with you. So if you're out there, please check in. Give me your questions and comments as we go on. I think what I posted earlier was the idea that our mind can never know love. What do you think about that? Do you believe the mind can know love? Or is the mind deceptive? Is it creating the illusion of love? I believe the mind is creating an illusion of love. I don't believe the mind can know love. I believe there's no words to describe love. Therefore, how can the mind know what love is? I think the only thing you can do is you can feel love. And then, because the mind cannot know love, that feeling of love is undescribable. You can't describe it to someone, but the mind wants to put things on it. The mind wants to define it. And when you put things on it and you define it, what are you doing? You're limiting it. And love is without bounds. Love is without limitation. And so we get really confused with this thing called love because we're saying we're in a loving relationship. I love this person. I want to live with them. I think we've got to separate something here. And that is love, being in love, and being in relationship. Yeah, that's a big question, isn't it? Because the mind defines love is the infatuation state. When we just, oh my God, I've lost myself in this person. They're the most best person in the world. I know you've been there. At some point in your life, you've been there. I've been there. I know that. But that disappears. That aspect of newness disappears. It always does. Well, we're going to be married. I remember working with this beautiful person. This is years and years ago. I remember working with her, and she would say, I wake up every morning and I give my husband, she called them schnooky kisses. And she says every morning, and I'm going to give him schnooky kisses as long as we're married, and we're going to go into the next life, and I'm going to give him schnooky kisses, yada, yada, yada. Guess what happened? She got pregnant with her husband, planned baby, nothing bad about that. But guess what went away? Schnooky kisses. Why? The newness went away. Life changed. I remember when I got married, I said to my wife, we have a bench seat in a car. We'll always have her scooted over next to me. And so we'll always be next to each other. We'll do that until we die. Guess what? About 3 years later, got a car with bucket seats. Now you pretty much, that's all you can get is bucket seats. So the newness dies. But that's not love. Love is accepting that person in all of their magnificence, good, bad, indifferent. It doesn't matter what. You're accepting them. But relationship, that's something you have to have a purpose. You don't marry for love. You marry because you share a common purpose. That's what I'll be talking about on Sunday. This Sunday is about how to love others. And I'm going to be looking at the idea of relationships and how they fit in. We've been led down a path of illusion that you fall in love and you get married. You know, more and more and more young people are not getting married anymore. They don't buy into the illusion that you have to, in some ways, you're sort of saying, I own that person, they're mine. And as I own them in their mind, there's a box around it. I know I'm going out there and saying some things. So I'm married. So here I am married. I love my wife. I love myself. That means I accept myself and I accept my wife. But that's not the reason we're together. The reason we're together is we've defined a common purpose. Number one, it's to support and grow each other. Number 2, it's to be financially comfortable with the wealth we built together. Number 3, it's to be great grandparents for our granddaughter. Number 4, we like the commonality, the sharing together. So that's a relationship. That's not love. And we work at that relationship, keeping it harmonious to the best of our ability. Here's a key thing that kills a relationship: having an unrealistic expectation of what that relationship will do in your life. Any of you have that? Any of you involved with anyone where you've got an unrealistic expectation of them and how they should deal with you and how they'll be with you? Bet you do, because we all do. My wife at times says, "You've domesticated me." Of course I have. I'm human. I have an ego. I have wants and desires and needs. And I'm going to try to domesticate you in a way that you want to do it. See, I don't believe in ever forcing anyone. I believe in creating a desire within that person to want to do whatever it is I seek to do. If I can do that and it's mutually beneficial, is that not a win-win situation? I think it is. And isn't that the best way to be in a relationship? Win-win? I call that, or the word that describes that, is not compromise. Compromise is lose-lose. You both lose. Collaborate means you find a way where both of you win. I think that's the secret to keeping harmony in any relationship. Find a way where you both win. But in order to win, you got to know your partner. You got to know, what do they really value most in life? And most people don't know. That's when I learned the work of Dr. John Demartini. That's why I became a values facilitator. So I know how to help a person discover what is their highest values. Their 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 highest values, so that they can live on purpose. Once you discover your values and you're living on purpose, now you got juice in your life. But if you're sitting there and you don't have juice in your life, it's because you don't know what's valuable to you. You haven't sat and taken down the time. And most people, when the questions we ask are asked, they have a hard time answering the questions, because guess what? Most people don't think very deep because they've never been taught to. They've never been asked hard questions. Here's the great thing about having a good relationship. If you've got a good relationship, you've got a partner who asks you deep questions. Not to put you down, but get you to think. Get you to get clarity. Isn't that, for me, that's a great reason to have a relationship. All of the relationships in my life are for one purpose: to support and grow me. You say, whoa, Lee, wait a second. You have the same purpose for every relationship, even your partner, even your wife? Yep. The difference is I have agreements about what a living relationship is with my wife that I don't have with anyone else. It's that simple. Now, did I get married with all this wisdom knowledge? No. Men don't get married at 21 with great wisdom and knowledge. Men get married for lust. Let's just be honest about it. I fell in love. She was beautiful. She was fun. She was enjoyable. That's lust. And then what happens? It wears off. Almost got divorced. Came real close to getting divorced. Mother told me, you'll never find anyone who loves you as much as your wife. I said, really? I had to think about that. And I realized that no matter what I did, and I was a butthead. In my 20s, I was a butthead. No matter what I did, my wife accepted me as I was. She never dumped on me, never gave me all the crap. And I said, maybe my mom's right. And that's when I shifted. I shifted my perspective. When I shifted my perspective, the relationship had new meaning. And then throughout the 48 plus years that we've been married, we've probably had 8 different relationships. Why? Because we're different people. That's something you've got to understand when you're in a relationship for the purpose of support and growth. You got to realize the reason you're there for support and growth means you will change, and she will change, or he will change, and you will have a different relationship. And then you've got to work, well, do the agreements in the old relationship work in the newer relationship? That's where the work is, finding out what those agreements are. So, God, I've covered a lot today, haven't I? The thing that I started off with that I want to bring us back to right now is the fact that the mind cannot know love. Love cannot be rationalized. Love cannot be defined. Love can be experienced. It cannot be described. So when you're living in love, who knows it? Only you do. And that's all you need, is if you are living in love and you know that you are living in love, you're complete just as you are. Everything else is just a bonus that you take with you as you explore this magnificent thing we call life. So with that in mind, hey, if you're watching on YouTube right now and you're not a subscriber, or you're watching on Facebook and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We're within 100 and some of 9,000 subscribers. I'm looking to hit that mark in the next 2 weeks. I know we will, but I'm looking to hit that mark. I'm trying to get more subscribers, because the more subscribers get, the more this message gets out there, the more people's lives that we can touch, so people can think for themselves and be responsible for creating their magnificent life and get rid of this idea of being a victim. It's a mentality, and we can change that. We do it one mind at a time, and we start with ourselves. Until tomorrow, I want you to know something. If no one says it to you, I will. I love you, and I accept you just like you are. Go create your best day ever. Aloha.